today I want to talk about how to better relate to our partners and support them and really be able to kind of understand what they're going through. So this comes up a lot in my practice. Usually I'm seeing somebody who is going through some serious depression or anxiety, or maybe recovering from some trauma and really trying to work through some things, and their partner doesn't know how to support them and they're having some conflict. So sometimes the partner will come in, or I'll talk to them a little bit and kind of try to help them understand what's going on for that person. And that can be really difficult for people to understand what someone is going through, even if it's their partner or their spouse. Because if we haven't been through something, sometimes it's hard to relate and understand what's going on, right? So I want to talk to those people specifically that are with somebody or friends with somebody and really want to support them, but they're having a hard time understanding what's going on and being able to do that. So I'll shoot some other videos to try to help you support somebody who doesn't want help and that kind of thing as well, but this is for people who want to support someone and they do want support, and you want to be able to do that a little bit better. So that's the topic for today. And remember, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and turn on the notifications so you get the notifications when I shoot a new video and you don't miss anything. I'm sorry for any outside noise. I'm shooting out on the balcony today in Nicaragua, so there's some noise. So I apologize for that in advance. So let's talk about this. How can you better understand somebody if you really don't understand what they're going through? You've never been there before. So if you've never been depressed, or you've never been through some serious trauma or assault or something, how do you support and understand somebody who has, and somebody who you love who has? So, I mean, the first thing that I would say is that you don't have to completely understand and get it to be able to support them. So you don't have to say like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I totally understand how they feel that way. You don't have to get it completely to be able to support them. But it is so helpful if you can try. So not only with them, try to understand it and talk through it and listen to them, but also do your own research. So research what it's like to go through whatever they're going through. Read up on, different people's stories of what it's like to go through that. Look up YouTube videos. Really try to understand it from different perspectives so you can get a broader idea of what that's actually like. I think it's really important for you to be able to do that and gain an understanding and put in the work and the effort to do that outside of the relationship and also with that person. So you can also do that with them. Spend some time looking at things and maybe watching a documentary or a YouTube series, or reading some stuff on what that's like and what it's like to go through that, and then try to listen to them and what they say and how they relate to that or don't relate to it. So if they say, these pieces really hit home for me and that is exactly how I feel, or this piece really isn't my experience. Really listen to them when they're saying that kind of stuff to you and they're expressing what it's like for them, because then you can get an understanding more of what it's like for them to go through that in their head. So really listen. Set up things in that way. So maybe you find an Instagram account and you show it to them and you're like, hey, is this what you're going through? Is this how you feel? Does this person kind of do you relate to this person? And if they say, yeah, totally, that's exactly how I feel, that really fits for me, then you understand a little bit better. If they say, no, that doesn't really fit for me, then you understand a little bit better as well, right? That piece isn't really what it's like to go through that for them. So really listen to them and try to understand a little bit more that way. And it's gonna take time. It's not something that you can just get a better understanding of without any effort. It's gonna take effort, both with them and away from them. I think it is also helpful, like people do with me, to bring the partner into therapy. So maybe if your partner is going to therapy and they've invited you to come or they want you to come, go with them, see what that's like. Maybe talk to a therapist about what it's like to go through what your partner is suffering with and be able to ask some candid questions that way and just get a better understanding of it. So put some effort in to all of these areas and try to get some traction and some understanding there. Also, I think it's really helpful to talk to them about how they feel supported. So ask them, like, how do you feel supported? When do you feel understood? Like, what can I do to better help you feel understood and supported? And maybe I don't fully understand and I don't get it, but I want to be here to support you. And how can I better do that? How can I help? What can I do? Have those conversations. And then maybe they don't even know, but that helps them say, okay, how do I really feel supported? Like, what could they do? Maybe that's something that they need to spend some time with too, so they can identify clearly, hey, this is what's helpful. When I'm feeling really down or when I'm feeling really triggered, this is what's helpful for you to do. So if they don't know, then that's something that they can research as well and that they can work on. And that's something that's really helpful for couples or friends or parents and teens to be able to have the conversation of, when I'm feeling this way, this is what I need. And to be able to have that conversation when the crisis isn't happening, right? We have to be able to have that conversation when we're calm and when you can say, okay, when I get really mad and I get really triggered, I need space, and this is how I'm going to let you know that I need space. Or I need just you to be there. I want you just to be around. I don't really want you to say anything, but I want you to be around. Or I want you to say this, or I want you to offer these things, and then I'll tell you if I want those things or not. So have a plan and lay out kind of things that would be helpful and how that's going to go about beforehand. Because when you're triggered or you're upset or you're emotional, we're not able to think logically and clearly. So when you're super upset and emotional, you're not going to be like, hey, I would appreciate it if you did this and this and this. No, you're gone at that point. You aren't really there anymore, at least in like that super logical way. So you want to have those prepped beforehand. So as the partner or the other person in this party, you can sort of facilitate that. Say, hey, when you're feeling that way, what can I do? What do you want me to do? And if they don't know, say like, well, maybe that's something we can work on or you can think about, because I really want to be able to support you and help you, and I want to know the best way to do that, and I don't want to make it worse. And in all of this, in all of these tips and all of these kind of things that I've shared, make sure you come from a loving place and a place that is, hey, I want to help and I want to support you, and try to stay away from any sort of, judgment or condescending or anything like that, because that can kind of rub them the wrong way. And even if you're trying not to do that, sometimes it can come off that way, but really try to be gentle and validating and be like, hey, I want to help you and I want to support you and I want to do that in the way that works best for you. So please help me understand more and do that more. And really just make sure that you're coming from that place of love. Because even if they do get upset in the moment or they do get triggered kind of by some of your efforts, if you continue to try and continue to do that with love, they're going to see that you do want to understand and you do care and that they do have you as a support. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions and leave any comments, and I can answer any questions that you have on this or respond to any comments that you have. I think this is kind of a conversation that we can keep having and something that you can keep working on. It's not, a you try and then it works thing. It's gonna take some time and some effort. So I hope that helps, and please let me know if you have any questions. Again, I am here to help.